Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Tailor Tales. I don't know, my voice sounded funny. I think there's something stuck in my throat. I think I'm getting sick again, guys. This is so great. Anyway, we are gonna start with Neil's route now. So, I told you guys I didn't want to play his route, but things change when you're kind of obsessed with the game. Oh, it's a different scenery. I've been playing the entire day with my friends at the local playground. We played all sorts of games. Tag, cops, and robbers. Hide and seek, it was all so much fun. The sun is starting to set and all the other kids have gone home already. I should probably head home as well. My mommy's making dinner and waiting for me. Oh, this is when she's super young. I look down at my hands, which are dirty, and there's a cut on my knee. My clothes have spots of green from rolling around in the grass with the other kids. She's not going to like this. I'm probably going to get yelled at again, but I have to go home. Mommy, I'm home! I yell when I open the door. Mommy's in the kitchen preparing food. Wash your hands and sit down for dinner, she yells back. Obediently, I walk towards the kitchen to wash my hands. Hey, Chico! She gasps at me. You're completely filthy. Were you playing with the boys again? Look at your clothes. What am I going to do with you? I wish you were more girly. I look down at the floor. Mommy is always saying things like this to me. I just like playing around with the kids. I don't care about my clothes. Come on now, wash up and sit down. I have a surprise for you after dinner. My eyes light up. A present! That's unexpected. I hurriedly wash my hands and sit down. When dinner is served, Mommy keeps making comments how I shouldn't play so roughly and I should keep my clothes clean. I finish up my food eager for my present. My mommy walks out of the room, then walks back in. Holding a large white box, she hands it over to me. Gleefully, I open it up. A bunch of pink fabric is in the box. A bit confused, I had a burp. A bit confused, I pick it up. I'm staring at a little pink dress in my tiny hands. It feels smooth against my skin, like it's really expensive. The fake crystals embedded into the hem sparkle brilliantly. I'm horrified. It's like a princess dress, and I hate princess dresses. They get in the way of playing. Wouldn't it simply look adorable on you? Grandma made it for you, she says. Oh, gross. No. Hell, Grandma made it. You better like it. I guess it would. Do you want to try it on? I sigh and take the dress from her hands. I really don't want to wear it, so I come up with a plan. I want to go out and play again, can I? I don't want to put it on now, make it dirty. I lie. Mother nods. Alright, fine. Be back by 7, alright? And don't talk to strangers. Quickly, I leave the house and run away. I definitely did not want to wear a princess dress. Well, it's nighttime though. The sun is completely gone as I arrive at the playground. It's dark and kind of scary. I kick a rock in frustration. Mother can't make me wear those stupid frilly dresses. Always telling me to dress up and look like a girl. I hate it. I don't like all those frilly dresses and looking cute. It just gets in the way of playtime. My friends always make fun of me when I show up in a frilly dress and I can't play because Mother doesn't want it to get dirty. I just want to go outside and play with my friends. But the playground is empty since most kids have a curfew and have already gone home. I'm alone and I don't like it. Not even Cody is here to play with. Frustrated, I kick a rock in the metal blue dome on the playground. It makes a hollow sound as it bounces off. Who's there? I'm startled by the sudden voice coming from the dome. It seems someone was hiding there. I would keep quiet if I was this girl at this age. I narrow my eyes trying to... I'm picking all the nice choices. I narrow my eyes trying to make out the figure that's hiding in the dome, and I keep quiet. Who knows who's in there? Mom did tell me not to talk to strangers. It takes a while, but within seconds I see a small boy crawling out of the hole. Oh, he's so cute. He's like a prince. At first I see a bush of purple hair emerging from the hole. Then I see the rest of his body come out, revealing the dirt on his expensive-looking clothes. His eyes are big and red. Those don't look red. Looking at me in fear. I don't recognize him at all. I'm not gonna hurt you, I tell him with a big smile. You're new here. What's your name? The boy says nothing. Oh, he looks so annoyed. He says nothing. He looks down at his shoes instead. They're covered in dirt as well. Where are you from? I asked, continuing my questioning of the stranger boy I have never seen before. You're definitely not from around here. The boy makes a tiny sniff, then rubs his nose with the cuff of his sleeve. Did you run away from home too? I ask him. I suddenly feel sad about my own situation, running away from my mother, and the dress like that. You're not going to tell them, are you? The boy finally says. His voice cracks a bit, like he's been crying a lot. I smile at him. Of course not. We can be runaways together. He looks up at me, a spark returning to his eyes. Why are you running away? He asks. My mommy wants me to wear clothes I don't want to. I say. I'm always being forced to dress girly. Mother and father always insist I wear these clothes, and they yell at me when I get them dirty. I give him one look over again. He's entirely dirtied his clothes. They must be real mad at you right now, then. The boy gives a shy nod. I don't want to go back. I always had to study and I can never go out and play. I hate that. I just want to play as well. Get as dirty as I want, I exclaim. The boy gives me a tiny smile. Mother and father won't allow me to play with any boys, so I run away. Well then, I'll play with you. Excitedly, I grab his hand and drag him to the slide at the other end of the playground. Your parents aren't here to say no. The boy finally manages to smile at me, and I give him a big toothy grin back. He climbs to the top of the slide and sits down to slide down. I can hear him giggle as he goes down. I quickly climb up as well and follow after him. It's so much to play with this boy. He's a bit shy and hesitant at first, but a couple of minutes in and he's the one racing to the top of the slide. Mother and father would definitely never allow me to play like this, he says. Definitely not with other kids my age. Hey, I'm 7. How old are you? I ask with a wide smile. The boy slides down again and then turns to face me. I'm 8. You know, boys older than me should be more brave. Oh my gosh, savage. I tell him. Then I wink at him and give him a thumbs up. He gives me a bashful smile back. I then grin at him and tap him on the arm. Tag! You're it! I call out. I dash away from him. He looks at me questionably, simply staying on the same spot still. I run back and forth in front of him, but he's not moving to chase me at all. Why aren't you chasing me? You're it. He looks at me funny. I'm it. What does that mean? Blink at him and stop still. Do you mean you don't know how to play tag? I don't know. I'm not sure. He shyly avoids looking me in the eyes. Wow! You've never played tag before? Really? That's kind of amazing. Look, you tag someone like this, and that means you're it. And you should tag me in return, if you can catch me. And if you tag me, I'm going to be chasing you instead. I walk up to him and tap him on the arm again. You're it! And then I run away from him. He nods his head and laughs, taking chase, and we both run playing tag. He's a fast learner, but I've never heard of a kid that didn't know how to play tag. Either way, he's pretty fun to play with, and we run to our heart's content until we can't take it no more. We play together until the stars are twinkling in the night. I'm lying down on the grass, my clothes are stained completely, and I probably should be worried about my mother. I didn't really run away from home, but I'm having too much fun with my new friend Akare. If I could play like this every day, that'd be awesome. Do you see those 4 bright stars? He asks. I look up at the sky, the stars sparkling bright, but I can see the ones he's pointing at, 4 bright stars in the shape of a square. Yeah, I see them. It's a star constellation. See the other 3 bright stars coming out of it? They call it the Little Dipper, he explains. Oh, I see. It looks like a frying pan. That's kind of cute. Wow, you're so smart. The boy gives me a shy smile and then shakes his head. It's just what my parents forced me to learn. You don't like it when they force things on you, huh? They're always forcing me to learn. I don't want to go back. You hate your parents? I decide to ask. The boy takes his time to answer. No, he says eventually. I want to make them proud, but I really don't like all of their little rules. I don't like rules either, I say. But your parents love you, right? The boy shrugs. I guess. That's good. My mommy loves me too, even though she's always trying to get me to behave. He snickers at me. Why do you always misbehave? All the time. Wait, when or why? Why? Well, he asks why, not when. I reply with a laugh. Your parents don't punish you. I just run away when they do. I give him a wink. You're so cool. You do whatever you want. I feel myself blush at the sudden adoration. Oh god. Our moment is interrupted when I see flashlights shining our way. I can hear adult voices and a dog barking. Find the boy! One of the men yells. My eyes wander with fear when I recognize the uniform on the group of men entering the playground. It's the police. They're here to find the boy. I'm sure of it. Luckily, they haven't spotted us yet. Oh no, I think they're looking for me, the boy says nervously. What should we do? The boy looks frightened, and I'm sure he doesn't want to go home just yet. Run away. We're running away together. Come on! I grab his hand to pull him straight. Pull him up straight. Run! I lead the way holding the boy's hand as we both run away from the police. My heart is beating like a drum in my chest. Adrenaline is keeping my senses sharp and alert. Right now, I only want to get my new friend away from the police. He can't go back to his parents yet. We're sprinting as fast as we can, and I guide us into an alley to take a quick shortcut. We're both out of breath, so we can take a quick stop after we finally manage to put a large distance between the police and us. I start to walk again when I notice no one is after us. You think they followed us? I ask. The boy shakes his head. I don't believe so. Whew! I was so sure they saw us. I'm glad they didn't notice, I say. Me too. That was some quick thinking from you. I got all nervous and stiff when I saw them approach. I don't know how you do it. I smile at him. Just leave it to me. We can't stay here forever, so I start to wonder where we should go. And the only thing I can think of is my home. Even if Mommy is waiting for me at home with that dress in her hands. Yes, that would be the best idea. I start to walk towards my house. We can hide there. Where are we going? The boy asks when he notices that I'm walking away. My home, I reply. Mommy will protect him. He says nothing but quietly follows me like a lost little puppy. Except when I got home, my mother contacted the boy's parents immediately, and it was picked up very swiftly. I couldn't even get a word in and was punished harshly for running away with him. I never saw him anymore after that day. I sometimes still wonder what happened to him. How are you doing, Michiko? Grandma asked with a big smile. Lately, Grandma hasn't been feeling well, so Mommy and I went to visit her at the hospital. Grandma is hooked up to a bunch of machines with wires and tubes. It looks scary. I run over to her, climb the bed, and hug her. I'm fine if you are, I yell. Michiko, get off the bed. Grandma needs her rest. Doctor's orders. I let go and climb down from the bed, standing next to my mother. How are things at home? Things are doing fine, although little Michiko doesn't want to wear the dress that you made for her. I pout in response. Is that so? My grandma says with a laugh. I used to be just like you, she says and then taps her finger on my nose. Were you as little as me? Oh, I was even shorter, much smaller. I like to play around in the dirt without a care in the world. Those were the days. Did your mommy make you wear skirts and dresses too? Mommy sighs in the background. All the time. My grandma flashes a knowing smile to my mother. It wasn't really fit for a girl to not wear a skirt back then, so it was like I had no choice. So Grandma was the same as me. Back then all the girls were taught simple sewing methods, so we needed to be able to have skills suited for running a household, and stitching up torn fabric was one of them. Sounds boring, I yell. And it was. I didn't want to learn because why would I use it? And then Mommy cuts Grandma off, but then she met Grandpa, didn't you? Ah, yes. I met your grandpa when I was a little older. He was riding his bicycle, showing off in front of the popular kids, and he fell quite hard. He had somehow managed to rip a hole in the seams of his trousers, and everyone could see his underwear. The popular kids laughed and laughed at him. He was mortified. What happened then? Did you yell at the kids? No, my dear, I didn't. Instead, I pulled him to the side and I asked him to strip. Mother! My mommy yells. She's only 7. Grandmother laughs, which causes her to take a few coughs as well. Considering he couldn't be embarrassed any further, he took off his pants and I used my small little sewing kit to patch up the hole. You had a sewing kit with you? Yes, my mother forced me to carry one with me, for emergencies, she said. I guess she was right. What happened between you and Grandpa then? Oh honey, it was like a movie. We were inseparable since then. He would buy me roses to show how grateful he was, and he didn't care if I wore a skirt or pants. He was just happy that I showed him compassion at the time, when everyone else simply humiliated him. I smiled at the story. I always liked hearing how Grandma met Grandpa, even though I barely knew him before he passed away. I don't remember the roses, Mommy mentions thoughtfully. Well, I never told you everything. I guess carrying the sewing kit with me wasn't so bad after all. If it made me meet Grandpa. And so I started taking a slight interest in sewing. Oh, Well, that's not as interesting. And you know what's the easiest thing to make as a beginner? Socks? I say, just guessing. A skirt! A circle skirt was super easy to make, and even though my first creations were terrible, I eventually got good at it, and I realized it was pretty fun to make them, and wearing my own creations was the best part. My grandma gives me a real big smile, and that, Michiko, is how I started wearing skirts as well as pants. I don't really see why though. I still don't want to wear girly stuff, but I'm happy Grandma is smiling at me, so I smile back at her. Okay, let's go home, Michiko. Grandma needs to recover. We can visit her again tomorrow. I hugged my grandma goodbye and we left the hospital. Grandma never got better. I don't know why, but she got sicker and then one day she was gone. Mommy handled the funeral and I didn't know what to do, and refused to leave my bedroom. I want to cry and yell. It was unfair. Grandma was the nicest person on earth, and why was she taken from me? I'm sitting in my room locked up. I don't want to go out and meet people downstairs. I'm sick of putting on a fake smile to pretend I'm happy. I'm not happy. Michiko, please come out of your room. Mommy begs me. No! I miss Grandma. She was always so kind and sweet to me. She always knew how to make me laugh too. I start to rummage through my closet, digging through all my clothes looking for something. Ah! Found it! It's the white box with the dress inside that Grandma made me. I quickly take off the lid and seeing the pink dress lying in the box untouched. I bury my face into it. It smells like Grandma's place. It's comforting, so I hug the dress to my body. I treasure it, Grandma. I'm not going to throw it away. I fall asleep on my bed with the dress in my hands. Oh, that's sad. That's some sad stuff. Holy crap, why is the next chapter so expensive, bro? Good thing I have lots of cash. Here I am. In front of me is a small store that used to be a jewelry store, and as of today, it is mine. This is so exciting. Ever since Grandma passed away, I've grown fond of the sewing machine she had left me behind. So I kept making my own clothes and found out it was actually quite fun. I pursued my interest and went to art school, majoring in fashion. Grandma also left me behind a large inheritance, so I could purchase my own boutique after I finished art school. Beautiful. And this is it, my own boutique. I hurry and take out my keys to open up the front door. An empty large room greets me. It's stripped of any personality, and it needs some touching up to do. It's taken me some time, and along with the help of my best friend Sarah, I finish up the boutique. I don't know if this is a repeat dialogue, so I'm reading it again. I can't believe it's finished, says Sarah as she stretches out. It looks amazing. Thanks for all your help. I'm really grateful that Sarah... Okay, it's the same stuff. That part was the same. We make our way further into the city until we come across a cozy looking cafe. A little further is a very modern hospital. It's nice to see I live so close to one. You'll never know when you need to go there for an emergency. Me and Sarah enter the cafe. It's quite busy and lively with people having a cup of coffee or people typing away on laptops. I actually see a few people in a doctor's coat or nurse's outfit. I guess I come here to take a break. I'll go find us a seat. Why don't you go stand in line and grab me a cup of coffee? 2 for 1, bro! I patiently wait in line, order our drinks, and try to find Sarah again with the tray in my hands. I can see her sitting in the back in one of the booths. I wore myself through a crowd of people, delicately balancing the tray, and almost made my way over when suddenly someone knocks into me from behind by accident. Excuse me! I stumble forward, and the cups of coffee launch themselves off the tray, right onto a man's sleeve. Oh man, this is horrible. I thought the guy that bumped into me was gonna be him. He yells out in shock. The cups shatter on the floor and suddenly the entire cafe is quiet. The man in front of me has his white dress shirt covered in one gigantic coffee stain. He's rubbing it and wincing in pain. I feel mortified and I rush over to him. I'm so sorry, I yell out and pull out a tissue from my bag and hand it over to him. There's no need, the man hisses at me, rejecting my tissue. This is ruined. You ruined it. It was an accident, I murmur softly. The man flicks the coffee off his fingers and starts to glare at me. I suppose walking straight is too much of a task for you. This was a real cornier. I blush as I recognize the brand name. It's one of the most expensive ones. There's no need to insult me. It was a mistake. Now I'm gonna be all sassy because he's being so. Ugh. There's no need to insult me. It was a mistake. I can agree that your 2 left feet are a mistake, he spits out. Sarah has finally come over to see what the commotion is about and steps in front of me. Back off there, buddy! She apologized. No need to snap at her. Sarah's staring him down like a tiger protecting her cubs. The other people in the cafe suddenly stop being interested and return to what they were doing. What's this? She can't speak for herself, says the man with a vicious tone. Oh, no, I can speak for myself? Rude! The man gives me a snide glare in response. She speaks, he says. Look, I can pay for the dry cleaning bill, I offer. A clerk comes running up and starts picking up the broken pieces of glass from the ground. I bend down to help them, feeling obligated since it was my fault after all. No, it wasn't my fault. It was the guy who bumped into me. I don't have time for this, the man says. Then he briskly walks away. Don't pay him any mind, me Chico, says Sarah. That's just how some city folk are, rude and obnoxious. I bite my lip and help clean up the mess I made. I feel pretty embarrassed by the encounter, but me and Sarah stay at the cafe once we were offered free replacements. I'm glad they didn't ask me to give them any sort of compensation for breaking their cups. Putting the event to the back of my mind, me and Sarah talk about our lives and what's going on. Sarah's excited about a new camera that she's getting, and as she's a professional photographer, she's waxing poetry about all of its features, and then suggests we should hold a photo shoot with my designs. This was why she has some pictures to fill up. This way she has some pictures to fill up her portfolio, and I get to use them for my own advertising purposes. We both eagerly talk about the specifics of the photo shoot. However, no matter how much I try, I keep wondering about that man, as I do still feel guilty about spilling coffee all over him. He was pretty rude about it, though. I guess city folk really are different. Oh, that was a rather fast chapter. Okay, I guess we have room for one more. Things are going smoothly lately. My shop is finally getting some traction among the locals. It's not a huge milestone, but people are starting to stop and come by to see what all the fuss is about. As I'm folding some fabric, I suddenly hear the door open. It's a customer rushing inside. Quickly head out to greet them with a smile. Welcome! Oh. It's that person I bumped into and spilled coffee all over his shirt. That's probably why he's here. I hope he isn't just here to mouth off to me. Are you here for the dry cleaning bill? I ask, a bit unsure. Wait, how did he find me anyway? He stammers, suddenly taken aback by the question, as if he wasn't prepared to meet me here. Yes, exactly. Sure, dude. Yeah, exactly why I came here, to this quaint little shop of yours. His voice is dripping with sarcasm. The man straightens his back while looking around the store. He puffs out his chest and clicks his tongue disapprovingly, as if he's judging every square inch of it and it's not up to standards. There's a scowl on his face and he frowns at my layout of the store. Just that small little act made me ready to defend my shop at a moment's notice. After our little run-in the other day, I was forced to dispose of the hideous mess you made that was once called a satin dress shirt, and order a new one, the man continued. That wasn't necessary, I gulped. I could have paid for the dry cleaning, or even have made you a new one in return, as an apology for ruining your previous one. Don't be obtuse. Creating an entirely new one, you can simply buy another instead. Oh, when you can simply buy another one. Okay. The man lazily flicks his wrist at me. What's done is done. However, now we have to come to the issue of payment. Suddenly his mouth stops moving. He's noticed a bunch of framed pictures behind the register. They're some of my childhood pictures. I treasure them quite a lot, so I proudly display them. I'm not sure why he stopped to stare, but he takes a few steps closer to investigate. I'm almost convinced he's going to nag about my choice of wallpaper or framing for the pictures, until I notice he doesn't have a scowl on his face as he did before. Do you like my pictures? I ask instead. That's not... I'm positively... I recognize this boy. He trails off. He's looking at a certain picture of me back from when I was around 8 years old, and going through a tomboy phase. I know I look boyish, but for him to mistake my childhood picture as that of a boy makes me feel a little abashed. It is a common mistake, though. I quickly shake my head to reel in my embarrassment. That would be me. No, it's not, he scoffs, completely disregarding what I said. I'm fairly sure that's a boy and I've met him before. Taken aback, I blink at him. Met me before. Huh? What do you mean? Ah, it's coming back to me. Is it your brother? He asks, but then continues without waiting for an answer. I can see the resemblance. I'd almost forgotten what he looked like. The corners of his lips are curled up a little and as he says this, which actually looks rather nice on a face on a face that so far has only been scowling at me. Still, I'm so confused, so I prod him for answers. Who are you? And what do you mean by you've almost forgotten? Right, where are my manners? I must have left them behind with my ruined dress shirt. The man brings a hand to his forehead, shaking a little. Then he looks straight at me, straightening his back and looking very impressed with himself. I'm Neil. Neil Forrester. You may recognize the last name? I do. Sarah told me some more about the hospital next to the cafe, that it was owned by the Forrester family. They seem to be quite rich, and looking at this person, I'm sure he grew up knowing nothing but riches. I didn't realize that this was their son. What's someone like him doing in my shop? And you are? Oh, right, I'm Michiko Melody. And your brother? He asks, not caring for my own name apparently. He's looking at the picture again. I huff. That's not my brother. I already told you, that's me, from back when I was 8 years old. He looks at the picture, then back at me, then back at the picture. His face turns into a grimace. You lie. In no way does that look like a little girl to me. I feel slighted with the way he accuses me of lying, while at the same time also insinuating that I'm actually a boy, that I can feel my cheeks start to redden. Tell him to get his eyes checked. I was always a girl, bro. I'm sorry to say, but that's me. I used to look a bit rough and like a tomboy back then, but I'm most definitely a girl. Not possible, he says. I'm sure of it. We spent the entire night together at the playground until some police officers chased us off. Suddenly it clicks in my head. The purple hair, those golden eyes. Neil was that little boy from years ago. The one I met at the playground, who had run away from his parents. This was years ago. I had basically forgotten all about it. Wait, I remember you now, I say with a laugh. You're that boy that ran away from his parents because they made you study and wear proper clothing. I feel my anger melt away as a wave of nostalgia hits me instead. How do you... Neil stops. He leans closer to me and narrows his eyes, studying my face with such intensity that I avert my eyes out of embarrassment. I've never had someone look at me like that before. Sorry about my mother calling your parents over that time. Then again, it was the right thing to do. We were young, I say, still trying to avoid his piercing gaze. At the sudden realization, the color drains from Neil's face. You? He asks in a small voice. Yes, that was me. I answer with a smile, daring to look straight at him again. Such a coincidence. Nice to see you all grown up. I had never imagined that kid was the son of the Forresters. Neil's face scrunches up in disgust. There's a scowl on his face, like he's been smelling something foul. Neil's face suddenly turns bright red, and he doesn't waste a second to dash out of the store. The door slams shut, leaving me utterly confused. Why'd he leave, bro? It's okay. This is where we're gonna save though, because his route doesn't seem that very long. It's not long. So I guess his was made second. I'm not too sure. But that means maybe next episode we can complete this whole entire beta game. I like it so far. I love the concept. At first I was kind of wary, because I suck at visual novel games if you guys haven't known that. Yeah, but I'm not that great at visual novel games. I somehow always end up with the bad route. But this game, there's no good, there's no best route and there's no bad route. You get what you get, which is very nice. And it's like a breath of fresh air, because sometimes I just want to be decent at a game for once, But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.